Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Three Strangers podcast. I am your host, Ryan,
I'm Nick.
And I'm Bill.
and we are back as the boys. Last time, of course, we had Savannah and Tina come in, talk about fear. Uh,
Oh,
they did say they were gunning for your jobs.
What the heck?
wow.
See,
Yeah,
there's no
Wow.
job security these days. Now,
No job security these days.
you know what I'm saying? Like, it's cool that you guys are talking about fear. Please don't talk about Cape Fear without us. I have a lot to say about that movie, but
okay,
Fear is fine. Fear is fine.
yeah, yeah.
Did you guys
Honestly,
enjoy your
didn't miss
discussion?
much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a great episode for you
Yep.
guys. Definitely should watch it. For our audience, you guys should watch it. You guys should watch it. It was a lot of fun recording with them, getting like different takes, and it just you could see how different like the vibe is. Not that it's a bad thing at all. It's just
Yeah.
you know how like different groups of people like some like you might go on a tangent one way, but with
Yeah.
other groups you might go a different way.
Yeah, yep. Mm-hmm.
Very different episode when you, Savannah, and I talked about brain damage.
Yes.
Yes, dude. And I remember it was so funny because it was sort of off kilter because we didn't have Nick here. But also, dude, I had like one of those like sinus infections where like it feels like your like entire like face like has like a little bit of pressure on it. And I remember like being like, it's nice to like talk about something to distract, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's
It's
nice to
nice
focus
to
on
be
something.
distracted.
Yeah, no,
That's why
I'm
it's
like, oh,
really
stop.
nice. It's really nice to talk about Hot Fuzz today. Just this is now post wisdom teeth out. Uh,
Yeah,
God.
Audience, if you're watching like through our like video side, you could maybe see a little bit of bruising that's happening over here, a little bit of yellow. Not the Coldplay song, but
Not as
but
sad as probably a Coldplay song either, but hey.
Sorry, not to tangent us too much. I'm tired of pretending like Coldplay is that bad. I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it. I think they're kind of okay. I think they're kind of
I think
okay.
Coldplay's good.
Okay.
I think Coldplay's
Okay.
good. I
There's
think
a
I
lot
think
of
Fix You is like one of the saddest songs ever written.
there's that one Rush of Blood to the Head. That album is really good. What's your thoughts, Ryan?
I like the scientist.
Also a really good
Okay,
song.
yeah, yeah.
I like the
Oh,
scientist. I think it's a good
so,
song.
just that song though.
That seems like a very
Uh,
fair
It
statement,
seems like
very middle of the
a
road.
yeah. It seems very like I kind of fucking hate Coldplay. Besides the
no,
scientist.
it's just because I think of the Super Bowl halftime with them,
Oh,
and
well.
now
Oh,
that's
it's a little
why.
disappointing.
You
Yeah.
know, I don't have a lot of beef with Coldplay, honestly. But
Yeah.
let's
He
talk
was
about what we are here to talk
Yeah.
about.
Yeah, it's
The
probably a good idea.
Cornetto Trilogy, the second one. It took us a few weeks, but we're talking about it finally.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
This
Um,
is I'm gonna go on my spiel here for a little
cool.
bit.
Please,
From
All
your
right,
please,
spiel.
please.
because there's so many thoughts I have about this. Firstly, little backstory. First time I saw this movie,
Okay.
when I was in like middle and high school and was going to like on vacation with like my parents and stuff. I used to rent movies to like watch in the car ride because if I didn't do anything, I would get car sick. So my parents would let me rent one movie on my phone to be able to like watch, and then like the other ones had to be DVD and stuff. They would like vet the trailer, like see if it was okay, look, see, make sure there's nothing like too bad, and then
Ryan, how
like
old were you?
like middle school, like
All right.
Just say,
All
yeah,
right. All right. All right.
13, 14.
they
You're
wanted to be
probably
careful, like because
fine.
I loved like comedies like back then,
No,
so they
yeah,
wanted
no,
to
no.
make sure it wasn't anything crazy.
Yeah, no, I'm wondering because of this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of Hot Fuzz.
So they were like, yeah, that's fine. Watching the trailer, they're like, all right, you're good. So like I remember like traveling home from Virginia. That's where we were vacationing at that time. Good old Busch Gardens, and head home and I watched Hot Fuzz for the first time.
Wow.
Boys, this is in my like top 10 favorite movies. Like not like
Of
non-genre
all time.
specific of all
Been
time.
dropping some bombs like that recently, Ryan. You're standing behind this, you know what I'm saying? Like you're standing behind this, right? Like,
I'm standing behind
like
Hot Fuzz.
okay,
I
because
Okay.
let's
love
mark that
Hot
down, Nick.
Fuzz.
Like
Let's work that down. Yeah, let's work it down.
let's like I'm okay, cool.
It is one of my favorite British comedies. I think
Yeah.
it is so funny.
Yeah.
At the time watching this, I didn't know about the connection between like Shaun of the Dead and like The World's End, any of that, because back then I was just kind of watching what I wanted to like watch. I wasn't really focusing
Yeah.
on. I was like, oh, that's the guy from Shaun of the Dead, nothing.
Whoa, wait a second. Those two guys are in Shaun of the Dead
Yeah.
together as a
Wait a
duo.
sec. Is that Martin Freeman? Like,
Don't ask too much.
so
um,
that's my first little portion of Hot Fuzz. I love love this movie. Doing
wow.
research about Hot Fuzz and stuff like that. Uh, Empire. We've talked about Empire and their like film rankings before, like their list of stuff. In 2020, Empire named Hot Fuzz, directed by Edgar Wright, as the 67th greatest film of the 21st century.
21st century.
Of the
21st
21st
century.
century.
Okay, that's
That's interesting.
quite
So that's
the
essentially the same like as the New York Times,
Mm-hmm.
that best movies in the last 25 years. That was
See?
released last year. Okay.
Yeah. So this was in 2020. This list was released.
Okay.
okay.
And it was named as the 67th. Do you
You
have
know
any
that
questions of movies that you're like, I wonder where this ranks above or below it?
well, I'm just gonna say, sorry, I was gonna say this, that like I think it's always funny whenever they make fucking like lists like this, like that they're like, oh, this is the top 100 movies of just like nobody wants to make broad sweeping statements. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody wants to be like of all time. Like it's like, and sorry, I think the New York Times, like, and I know we discussed that like a little bit like off mic and like off camera and everything about how crazy that one was. Um
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say, does this have like a bias towards like it's weird because Hot Fuzz is a great movie. I wouldn't call it like Oscar bait though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If that makes
No, it
sense.
feels like like an 80s, 90s action film.
It's a
It
buddy
does.
cop.
That's
It's a buddy
what they're
cop
going
movie.
for.
It's a buddy cop movie.
Yeah.
Buddy cop movie.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll talk about more once we get there, but when they were making the movie, they said that like Simon Pegg and Edgar Wright, that there's not a lot of cop movies like from England. And there's not a lot of famous cop movies from England. So they wanted to like put out something that they felt could be that.
Something I really admire from this movie is it's not afraid to be like, hey, we're similar to every buddy cop movie. I really love that like the Bad Boys 2 gets referenced quite directly a couple of times, if not many times, because it's like, yeah, you're watching, you're like, oh, yeah, it's like Bad Boys,
Yeah.
but I love like the awareness of that. It feels like a spoof movie that is somehow really good. Like it almost felt like a Scream parallel, right?
Dude, 100%. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna say this, like, that's actually really interesting that Simon Pegg said the whole thing, like about like how there isn't just like a lot of buddy cop movies for England. Actually, now I'm thinking about that, it's like almost exclusively like an American, Japanese, and like South Korean thing.
Yeah,
I,
or
yeah.
Italy in the 70s, like in 80s, started to have like cop movies that were kind of like their Giallo films, but not really. Which we'll talk about that, the Giallo
I,
reference of this.
this,
Always tie it back to Jalo.
this feels very weird. There is no way you're connecting Hot Fuzz to John. I won't let you. I won't let you. No, no way. No, actually, no. You know what? Now I'm actually gonna say I'm like
It
I
is,
can
but
kind of
it
see.
literally is
No,
a
I can
Giallo
kinda,
film.
no, it's a mystery. It's a mystery. But yeah, it is.
Or Giallo films mystery films, I guess is the more
Mystery
like,
But
thriller.
this has like what makes a Giallo. Like it
It's a
has the elements of it.
fuck.
well,
Fuck.
sure, but
He's
like
right.
so does House on Haunted Hill from like the 30s. But that's because it's a murder mystery.
But there's no black gloved killer in House on Haunted Hill.
Because a thing of
It's
Giallos is
missing key part. Like there's a Giallo has very like ultra specific elements to it.
like very specifically like the idea of like a murderer that obscures their identity is a very
Yes,
Giallo
with
thing.
all
Okay,
black
yeah.
or like, you know, Usually, usually there's a weapon of choice. This doesn't really have a weapon of choice, which we come to find out why there's not a weapon of choice with
Yeah.
this.
Exactly. Yeah.
Uh, we'll talk about, because also Edgar Wright is like a massive Jalo fan, and a lot of his movies somehow reference him. Like Last Night in Soho, the cinematography of it, very reminiscent of Jalo films. Also has a main character witness a murder. This one doesn't really have that until later on, but still.
See, this is very interesting because now like this movie actually, so sorry, we do what we do on the show, but I feel like I constantly have people in my life that are like, watch this, Bill, like do like, like check this out, Bill. And I recently got recommended almost the entire Hong Kong, which this is so unfair, like John Woo's, when he was making films in Hong Kong's uh uh like that whole section of his like filmography. And I know that people talk about Hard Boiled. If you guys have ever heard of that
Mm.
like movie,
I've heard of
Hard
it,
Boiled,
never seen it.
very definitive buddy cop movie that's kind of not a, like, there's comedic elements, but it's like taking it, like, overall takes itself like decently seriously. I'm not gonna lie, like I think in America, like you hear like buddy cop, and it's like this isn't gonna be very serious. I think like 21
Yeah.
Jump Street, you
Yeah.
know,
Mm-hmm.
I think like stuff like that. Point Break is a great example. By the way, sorry, I hate to, I know that's like a whole thing in this movie, in in Hot Fuzz in general. Point Break is kind of a bad movie. I'm just gonna go ahead and like say that. I don't think anybody's arguing like super against that, but like
Yeah, yeah.
I understand there's like bad movies that still like leave an impression on you, and I
Mm-hmm.
certainly have a lot of those. So
And that's how I feel about Hot Fuzz. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, I was gonna
that'd
say
be
that's
crazy.
crazy take.
That'd be like taking the wheel and like you like rip it to the left, like like like
I hated this.
it's just
No,
like,
I definitely liked it. I definitely liked it. Guys, this was my first time watching it.
whoa, dude,
Yeah.
that's
Mhm.
crazy. Was it your
Mhm.
first time with Shaun of the Dead? No, it wasn't your first time with Shaun of the Dead.
No, but yeah, it was first time in so long that I barely remembered it.
What's it? I have a weird general question, and I don't know if anybody. This is probably something we should have looked into like before the podcast. Sorry, Cornetto is mentioned by name in this film as like an ice cream that they get at the shop, right?
Yes.
Is this called the Cornetto Trilogy by Edgar Wright himself?
Uh, that I'm not
Like,
sure. I
okay.
could I could look that up very quickly.
Yeah, why don't you like because like and like don't worry, I can also like kind of like do my own like research on it, but like I was like interesting, is that like a prescribed thing that people that watch his films give it because it is three different films made relatively within a pretty short time period that all feature, Simon Pegg, and oh God, why is his name escaping me? Um um
Nick
Friggin'
Frost. Sorry, I didn't
yeah, Nick
really
Frost,
hear the.
Nicholas
Okay.
Frost. Yeah, Nick Frost. Yeah.
So it actually, the name originates as a joke during the promotion of Hot Fuzz.
Hmm.
Uh, let's see. I'm reading more into it, and it seems like they are the ones that coined the term of it.
Okay, so Edgar Wright owns that. Like he's like, yeah, this is like my same, a lot of the same actors, but three different things I'm trying out,
Mm,
essentially. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they even say as a joke at the after party for the film they received free Cornetto ice cream. So Wright and Pegg decided to include another reference to Cornetto in their next film in a failed attempt to get more ice cream.
Is that Kim?
Oh, and it's also called the Three Flavors Cornetto Trilogy because each one that has like a different color that kind of represents it.
Huh.
Something about like Neapolitan, like chocolate, vanilla, strawberry. Is that the?
More so like red for Shaun of the Dead, blue for Hot Fuzz, and green for The World's End.
Got it. Okay, that's kind of interesting. That kind of weirdly like ties something together. Does it feel okay with
Oh, it's
that
because in
knowledge?
the
Yeah.
first one, Shaun the Dead features a red strawberry flavored Cornetto.
Okay.
Red
Oh,
signifies the blood and gore. Hot Fuzz is blue, signifying the police for,
okay.
that.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk about the World's End, next time. But it features a green mint chocolate chip flavor.
Oh, okay.
Go
To
to
Okay.
back.
represent science fiction.
Uh, oh, nice. Wow. Okay.
There you go. See, we all learn something
There we
on this
go.
podcast. Not just the viewers,
Yeah.
even we
Mm-hmm.
constantly are learning.
I love that. I love that. I feel like I might do a similar thing. If I would ever make a movie, it's like let's work ice cream into it. Me and my
Mm.
lactose intolerant self, I'll be like, let
Yeah,
me just
yeah.
like make ice cream a monumental symbol of my film.
Dude, that's great, dude. I think we should actually see. So I think you should do like one film that like focuses on ice cream, another film that focuses on cheese, and then like maybe
Oh,
like a final film
the
that like it's like
lactate
yogurt.
milk. Oh.
Oh, sorry, I just like the diarrhea, like or, like I don't know, like I'll leave that up to you. I'm not an idea man, like what I'm saying. So like
Oh yeah.
that's for you to
Yeah.
Hold on,
determine.
That
someone
will
write
Yeah,
catch
this
people's
down.
attention.
Uh,
Yeah.
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 Also, we're
Yeah. Yeah.
copywriting it. We're copywriting it. No one steal
Hope,
it.
hopefully nobody steals the yeah. Hopefully nobody
Yeah,
ever steals that
because
concept.
I'm sure we'll be welcomed with open arms by
Yeah.
filmmakers
Yeah.
here and abroad, for the
Absolutely.
Yeah, we've just lost
crazy.
our like. If we were ever gonna get like an early access like screening of like something, they're just gonna pull up this clip as like we show up and they're like, guys, you're
Oh,
done.
you're done.
They called the Cornell. They called it what?
They
Or
called
like,
it.
but to be clear, sorry, like my initial thing with Hot Fuzz, and like Ryan, this like really like freaked me out for a second when you were saying like your like first experience with it, because like I was like, dude, I was in like late middle school, early high school, also on a trip. However, this is kind of crazy. This was played on a band trip
Whoa.
to redacted
Yeah.
because I won't out
Yeah.
To
myself like that.
somewhere.
And this was played like on our trip, like to like like, but we were like 13, 14, like and like up,
Mm.
Whoa.
so I remember thinking though, while I was watching it, I had not seen it since then. While I was watching it, little moments kept like if you would have asked me before like what like was the movie about, I'm like I remember it play. I'm like I remember like Simon Pegg in like a like I would call like off color character for him.
Mm.
Like a very
Mm.
serious Sean Pegg.
Serious. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remembered he was a cop in a town that like
Good.
necessarily didn't like he was a fish out of water, like
Mm.
weirdly
Mm.
in like a town, and I remembered a sea mine. And that
Mm-hmm.
was
Yep.
like the underwater mine, and that is like would have been about the extent of like the movie. And I remembered a lot of gunplay at the end, which turned out to be
Yeah.
true. Yeah,
Yeah.
which
Yeah. Lots
also
of guns at the end.
I can't wait to talk about that sequence. That goes so crazy all of a sudden, and like suddenly it's like a anyway. We'll get there when we get there. But crazy tone shift,
Yeah.
crazy, yeah. But you guys want to get into it?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think
Move forward.
now, if you've never watched it, watch it. I definitely recommend it. I think it's a very fun watch. Uh, kind of, I don't want to say mindless, but like you can mindlessly watch it and have a lot of fun with it. It's not gonna make you think too much.
Yeah, yeah. I'll agree, and like I'll also recommend it like ahead of time. I don't know how you feel about it, Nick, but
I do recommend it. I think this is a funny movie. It's a funny movie, and honestly, it's a funny movie even if you don't like British humor. I'm not that fond of British humor, and yet I found myself like enjoying a lot of the jokes. So,
things
yeah.
are very quick. Things are very quick in this
Yes.
movie. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. That's actually kind of the one like crazy thing. Like, I think a lot of people talk about like the Safdie brothers for like having this very quick, like manic, like kind of like film
Hmm.
style. Really
Yeah.
like but like their like films are all like, oh, quick manic film style and you're stressed the hell out,
Yeah. Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
like quick manic film style, and
And
like
you're laughing.
and you're laughing, and like also like it feels weirdly like, yes, this movie is from 2000 like 7, I want to say. I
Eight? I don't know.
7 or
2007.
8,
Yep, 2007.
2007. I'm like, I
Great year
totally
for
believe
film.
that. Great year for film. I totally believe that. I agree. It weirdly like feels like a movie from 2007 that in lesser hands, like I can imagine 2007 buddy cop film that like sucks, you know? And this
Mm-hmm.
is like, what if you like actually did everything right and like
Yeah.
built things from like the ground up, and it's
Yeah.
really great. Yeah, and that's Hot Fuzz. Not to preclude my thoughts too much, but um,
Yeah, and I think it takes like even though it is like such a buddy cop movie, it takes elements from so many different things to make it really interesting. It has I really enjoy the story of it. I
Yeah.
think it really gets you invested. And we don't have like a central big love plot in this.
dude,
Yeah.
Dude, that was so. I thought about that. I was like, when does the love interest come in? And isn't that so like kind of like fucked up in like a way that it's like, oh yeah, of course, this is like a movie from this time. Like, there is like I was like, where is like the woman that like teaches Simon Pegg that like, oh, being a cop in like a rural town, like it ain't all bad, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
everything.
Because he is
We
he's grieving his previous relationship he was broken
yeah,
up with, and
with
Right.
Kate Blanchett.
yeah,
What? That was Kate Blanchett?
Yeah.
Are you serious? I couldn't tell under the mask. Was that like part of the joke that they got like Kate
She's
Blanchett to
she's uncredited and it's a cameo.
oh
stay in this
wow,
movie, and she's so famous? That's crazy. Okay,
that's
that's really
sweet.
funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
wow, that's a
I
little
had to
dark.
throw that in there. Very funny.
Yeah, Kate
Kate
Blanchett's
Blanchett's in
under
it.
there. Nice. Um, yeah, I think it's like oh shit, what was I gonna say? I don't know. I love the quickness. I think the quickness really beckons a second and third watch. I was like really surprised that like I found myself being like, man, I feel like I am missing jokes, and I want to watch it again. It really, it's such a, I think it's well directed, well shot, quickly well written film.
Mm.
Yeah.
And there's little moments when you watch it, like the second time that you start to like pick up on the twist a tiny bit sooner. Like there's
Mm,
little things you could start to notice of like characters being in places and things like that where they're not even like it's not like the camera's literally focused on them, but if you like look a little bit in the background, you could see a character like back there, or like little tiny details like that somewhere in a place having like an article just on the wall that like you just read like, oh, that's interesting, and it
yeah,
referenced some of those things
it
throughout.
does. During
But others,
investigation.
if you pay very close attention, you could kind of be like, oh, I see.
This this movie, and it's funny. I almost like want to watch it again like right away because it does have like those like blinking like you miss the details to I actually caught, and I was really happy with myself. And I'm not gonna flex. They're both music related. Um, I am a big, and excuse me if I don't remember. I believe it's Skinner that is the owner of the supermarket. That's the initial like who they think is like doing everything wrong. And of course we
Mm-hmm.
later
Yes,
come to
Simon
find
Skinner,
Simon Skinner. Which, sorry, I don't know if you like have this like up like, but like like actor name
Timothy
really.
Dalton.
Oh my God, of course. Sorry. Sorry, I'm a big James Bond fan. That's of
Yep.
course.
Oh yeah.
That's of course he was James Bond. That makes so much sense. I'm like, he has like a certain like charisma about him, and he's been in like a lot of English cinema. That's it. I should have picked that up. Damn. I'm like, know you from? Like, you're so familiar. Okay, Timothy Dalton. That should have been way more easier and obvious than I thought. But there's twice when he pulls up in his car to scenes of crimes. One is the initial staged and I know we're kind of going out of order here a little bit, but like the
That's okay.
staged decapitation. Um and
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big fan of the band Dire Straits. from the 80 from the 70s 80s, and I was like I heard like these very like distinct guitar tones, and I'm like holy shit, it is the Dire Straits song Romeo and Juliet, and referencing the
Uh,
production, yes, and they clever. And then the other time when he pulls up to the house that gets blown up, right? There is a sort of small time English musician playing this song called Fire, which would later be famously covered by Jimi Hendrix. If you guys know the Jimi
Yeah,
Hendrix
yeah,
version.
yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Jimi Hendrix, yes.
Yes,
But interesting.
but yeah, I was like literally like because like it's funny and because I'm not gonna lie, if it was an American director, it'd be like, oh yeah, play the Jimi Hendrix like Fire like version, and it's like, oh no, okay, like they're gonna do the original English, which just makes a lot of sense.
yeah.
Um, but I like those two like small like details. I just like noticed them as like music like cues and stuff like that, and I was
Hmm.
like, damn, like that's like really clever and like a lot of care in the filmmaking. So
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah,
I think that's why this film really sticks out for me and why I love it so much. Because this could just be, any buddy cop movie that's like, if we're grading this on a scale of five, that's like a 2 out of 5 or a 2.5 out of 5. But it's like, oh, it was fun. You know,
yeah, yeah,
there's so much care behind the filmmaking, behind the acting. There's so many choices that the characters make that just bring it to the next level. I think of all of the side characters in the town. I get a good sense of who these people are. And, like you guys were saying, how quick this movie moves. To
Yeah.
have a sense of who they are instantly with how fast it moves is just great filmmaking.
Yeah. Great filmmaking, great acting, great storytelling. Everybody knew what they had to do because the shot was going to be quick, so it's going to have to be in that style. It's not exaggerated either. I think like I think that British humor is like that. What I'm realizing is like the humor isn't out of your in your face funny. It's like really quick, really quick. Oh, did you catch that? That's really hilarious. Okay, next thing. Oh, okay. Oh, now it's funny. Now it's funny again. Oh, okay. Now this is serious.
yeah.
Now it's really
No,
funny again. And it's like it's such a fast pace of humor.
it's like funny because like one of the and I don't know if necessarily this is a criticism, but this is just something that I had to keep like checking in with myself and sort of like reassessing is like I'm like, okay, how serious are we supposed to be taking everything that's happening here?
Right.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like a lot of this is like sort of like Simon Pegg himself is playing a parody of like
Mm.
a like person that's a cop that always knew they wanted to be a cop. Also,
Mm.
sorry, I thought it was so interesting, and this is also maybe this leans a little bit more into criticism, but I was like, okay, we're eventually going to be told why Simon Pegg is like this. He's going to be given like a character beat, and the
Mm.
only thing that is offered, to my knowledge, please correct me if I'm wrong, the only thing that's offered is that I think on that one of those bonding nights with Nick Frost, he's like, I had an uncle who was like a cop, and then you kind of get like a laugh line because it's apparently like, he like turns out that he was like crooked, and like the police car that like the toy police car that he bought him, like he like didn't use after that just because it was dirty money or like whatever.
Yeah.
But then I was like, okay, cool, that's like maybe like the story that Simon Pegg's character, sorry, Angel, like that, like tells people. Also, sorry, very on the nose, calling like somebody who like people or whatever Angel. Like I was like, cool. He probably has the story that he tells people, right?
Mm.
Like that. It's like, oh, this is the way that I am. But then I'm like, I thought there was gonna be some bigger reveal later that it's some sort of trauma motivated thing. Like you lost somebody or like he like failed to act. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like I felt like there was something there and we're not offered anything else. And
Yeah.
maybe that would have leaned into it being less comedic. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think I agree. Like, it's not a dramedy at all. It's a comedy where it's like, oh, there's some humanization. Um, but then I think the shootout at the end kind of blasts any reality of humanism, really. But yeah, I think I'd agree that I was wishing for more of that because then like you get like a little bit of like oh he's trying to get over his last relationship failed because he's like this, and it gets told in the very beginning, and Nick Frost is is direct with him about that, and I think that's a nice moment, but it's really it does not last. Nothing lasts really long. When Simon Pegg's getting the flowers for Nick Frost, and I was hoping like, oh man, I hope this comes up. And then like later on, Nick Frost goes, "Were you really gonna get those from me?" And then Simon goes, "Yeah," and that's it.
Yeah,
It does not waste any time, or it doesn't take any more time than it wanted to.
and like even like at the very end with like the big reveal of what's been going on in town and like the loyalty of like Nick Frost is like questioned and everything, they really shorthand that shit respectfully. They're really like, no, like now I'm like with him, like like
Mm,
it was I know there was like a whole thing. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't believe for a second that like Nick Holt was going to come back into the fold of, because sorry, if Nick Holt doesn't go back, or sorry, I keep calling Nick Holt, sorry, Nick Frost, if Nick
Mm.
Frost doesn't go back to like, like Simon Pegg and like his character, then it's not really a buddy cop movie. It's like a
yeah,
buddy revenge or something movie,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
or something weird.
Hmm.
But yeah. What do you think, Ryan?
Sorry, I was a little bit lost in the sauce. Honestly, I was just enjoying what you guys were talking about. Not even. No, I was like, yeah, I was like, wow. I was
Ryan's
like,
like,
I love you guys
oh, these
talking
guys are.
right now.
Ryan's like, these guys are podcasting pretty hard right now. Wish I could say something. Okay, okay, okay.
I basically spent that time also going down a massive rabbit hole of like the actors and actresses in this movie because of like how good the performances are. Uh, like Olivia Colman being Doris Thatcher,
Yeah.
uh, just like random people. I'm like, oh, I know this person, but like early in their careers and stuff. Yeah, the guy that we talk about where you talked about before, Bill, about the undersea mine, uh, that guy David Bradley being in Harry Potter, like
Whoa,
Hmm.
as what, dude?
Well, okay. Oh, he's
Whoa, yeah.
Professor
Argus
uh
Filch.
Filch.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
he's
Filch?
the squib. Yeah, he's
Holy
Filch. Yeah, he's
crap.
Filch. And then, but
Okay.
also, what's his name is also Jim Broadbent. He was the
Mm,
inspector. Frank. He's plays I always forget this guy's name from Half Blood Prince. The guy who like
Horace Slughorn.
Slughorn. Thank you. Yeah, Slughorn. Mm-hmm.
Slug Slughorn's
Professor
actor
Slughorn. Yeah, the guy who
in
can
this
turn into a
movie?
couch.
Yeah, yeah. So he's in this movie?
Yeah, he plays the inspector.
Sorry, which one?
Oh,
So,
I guess right. Yeah.
The
yeah. Well,
Frank,
yeah,
the
Nick
guy
Frost's
who.
dad.
oh, oh my God, really?
Yeah.
Wait, sort of the like I guess like the yeah I guess it is like I guess the American equivalent would be like a chief or something, the chief of the station. That's what they
Yeah.
Mm,
call him, the inspector. Okay, so
yeah.
so Nick Frost's dad, that's Slughorn's actor?
Yeah.
Man, he's so less sorry, his performance as like Slughorn in Harry Potter is so I don't know, like so charismatic and like he's like
Mm,
like the almost like an archetype, the really great archetype of like a teacher that is maybe pushing the boundary between
yeah.
student teacher relationship like too far. I did not
Yeah.
get his charisma as much in this thing, but
No,
now that
but
you're
he's
saying
got
that,
a. He does have a tell though. I mean I knew ahead of time, but like what really like spoke to me was like towards the end where you're spoiler alert where you realize it's everybody, which I want to get back to the fact that it's a whole coalition, but he's kind of looking down and he's talking to Simon Pegg and he calls him. He says something like boy. It's very much his is Slughorn coded where he's like, "What are you doing, Harry? What are you doing here?" It was like, ah, that's him. There he is. There's Slughorn.
That's really funny because you're reminding me of another thing where remember there was like a throwaway line that like Nick Frost like messed up, so then like you have to buy dessert for the station or whatever.
Yeah,
Dude, I think during that blah 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 blah, like boy thing, he is eating Chubby Monkey ice cream, which is Nick like his like his next infraction. That's what he had to give the station. And like nobody even mentions that they're eating the ice cream or
yeah,
references it or anything. It's just like, oh yeah, like that was mentioned in this previous scene, and now it's like happening. It's cool. It's cool that way. And this movie's cool in that way, you
yeah,
know.
yeah. It
So
is. And I also
yeah.
think British films in general, like you're always gonna see. I think there's like it's such a like that you're always gonna see the same faces. You know, you've got and I think because Harry Potter, the cast between the 8 movies is so large, you're gonna see so many people. But you've also got people like Martin Freeman. He's in so much. Bill Nye, he's
Mm.
in so much. Obviously Simon Pegg is in all of his stuff. Yeah, so many different actors that are like, oh yeah, yeah, that's them.
Or you have the Hound from Game of Thrones. You have a few of them would go on to be Game of
Yes,
Thrones
He
Game of
was
actors.
Thrones
he
actors.
was in
Yes.
this movie. Who was he in this movie? That's crazy.
The Hound
Physical.
was the Lurch.
What?
Yeah.
Dang, dude. Sorry. This is really blowing my mind because I'm still reeling from the whole Timothy Dalton thing. I recognize, and like all these other people, like I'm like they're familiar to me, but I was just like it must be some Harry Potter, and it turns out that was kind of right for quite a few of them. But like,
Yeah.
British film is like a smaller sphere. That is crazy. That is the Hound playing
Mm-hmm.
Lurch. Yarp. That's
Yeah,
that's
Yarp.
crazy.
Yarp.
That's crazy to me, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay. Damn. All right.
Yeah, I think let's talk about the twist since we're talking about all these amazing actors and actresses.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
About how we're trying to figure out who it is. The Nicholas Angel, the main character Simon Pegg, believes that it's Simon Skinner. Like no doubt in his mind it is him, but
Hmm.
he just can't get that one proving piece of evidence to have it be him. And it turns out, well, it's the whole town. He's a part of it, but
Yeah.
this specific one he didn't commit, but he was a part of it.
Yeah. What do you guys think? Do you guys think? Okay, here's the question that I've got. Do you guys think that it is a plot twist to have everybody involved, or is it, no pun intended, a cop out?
Okay. Sorry. This is my like quick take on this. I was like, I don't think that is just Timothy Dalton's character. I don't think it's just Simon Skinner. Um,
Hmm.
Even though, well, okay, actually, this is my meta thing. They were baiting him so much to be the villain, and like just the
Yeah, they
things he's
were.
saying and how he's
Hmm.
showing up at the crime scenes and everything, right?
Hmm.
And I was like, cool. He probably knows something, but he's not the killer, if that makes sense, you know? Um, and I was like sort of like, okay, I think this is like a weird situation where it is multiple people working together. I did have that in my mind. But I mean, kind of in a generalized sense, this situation could sort of like never quote unquote like
Yeah,
happen if
happen.
that
Yeah, yeah,
yeah like if that
yeah.
makes sense, like people would be like, hey, like don't move to this town, like the people are really weird here, and
Yeah.
like like and like they either force you out or kill you, like you know what
Yeah,
I'm saying. So
yeah.
and I think like I kind of had to be like, cool, I have to accept that this is the central twist of the movie, and while I'm not maybe 100% satisfied,
Hmm.
I am forced as a viewer to either give it that conceit and everything that sort of happens after it, or to not give it that conceit. And giving it that conceit's a lot more fun because then it
Yeah.
feels like everything's like more motivated at the end, and that he's like liberating the town from this sort of, I don't know, you shadow HOA, town council.
Neighborhood watch.
I mean, I'm wondering, dude, I'm wondering if this is if somebody who wrote this film had problems with their neighborhood watch, because I'm not gonna lie, like I grew up in a small town. People do get kind of crazy,
Yeah.
you know,
Neighborhood
parent-teacher
watch or like a, you
organizations.
know what it is too? It's like a PTA.
Yes, dude. Yes, yes,
A
yes, dude.
coalition of the PTA moms
I
and
remember
dads.
like like no offense, like there was like a social energy to my small town upstate, and you either accepted it and went along with it, or you chose not to be a part of it and just kind of accepted that. You know what I'm saying? Now, in this movie, if you choose not to accept it, you get forced out or murdered. That was not the case. That was not the case, you
I
know,
hope not.
upstate for me. But I think it is interesting to imagine, especially just because when does public safety get taken too far? Interesting.
I don't think it's a cop out in my eyes because I think of like I feel like we always have like weird events like even now with like we find out about like the secret community. Remember that all ended up like it was a religious cult, but ended up like all killing themselves. Do you remember like in the 90s? And that's
Heaven's
where like
Gate,
the term like don't drink the Kool-Aid comes from,
Oh
Jonestown,
yeah, yeah.
right?
Jonestown.
So
Okay,
like
yep.
things like
Jonestown.
that, like there are like and this is such a small town that this is supposed to be taking place at, you know,
Mm.
that we don't know what the hell is going on in like random small town in Nebraska. We don't know what's going on and so I think that's where I give it because we do have other movies that have similar conceits of like, oh, the town is really like there's something crazy with it. But even this, like, they killed regulars within their town. It wasn't just like only new people that they are killing because they end up
Mm.
killing the florist, who was a part
Yeah,
of their society and knew.
yeah, yeah. Which they kind of felt bad about, but they're like, ah, yeah, she just had to go.
Yeah, she was a
Yeah.
good one, right?
Yeah.
It's interesting because it sort of made a joke out of the idea that like, all of these things are quote unquote made to look like accidents, but kind of
Mm.
shittily and sloppily done,
Yeah,
as
yeah.
Simon Pegg points out. But now that like, I'm thinking about it, like, I mean, if you are investigating yourselves and one of your heads is part of the inspector, like the chief or whatever, like the leader of the police in the town, then they're probably like, oh yeah, don't like, we'll investigate that to find that you did nothing wrong and that like this was indeed, you know what I'm saying, like you like,
Yeah, yeah.
so it is kind of it is kind of scary in that way. Something that maybe like struggled a little bit with me, did you guys struggle with the fact that even though it leads to really cool team up stuff at the end, you
Mm.
guys have a problem with that the only turned member of the police force was the inspector, that the other members of the police force were like, oh yeah, like I this is shocking to, you know what I'm saying, like, it led to a great team up at the end, but I was like, I don't know, like people don't give a
Yeah,
shit about their jobs, so
yeah, yeah. It
yeah.
felt like, oh, they were pretty easy manipulated then. Yeah, yeah. Like, oh, so we're all just okay with this. Okay.
I see, but I feel like throughout the film they're kind of like that. Like no matter what, like
Yeah,
oh, like
yeah.
he cursed, we get cake today. Oh, like you
Hey, at least
know,
we got cake.
yeah, exactly. Like little things like that. Like we kind of see them, and they just kind of just listen to whatever the inspector tells them to do. They're like,
Yeah,
okay, fine, well we'll do whatever. But
just
I
yes
think
men,
once we have that
yes
moment in
people.
the pub where Simon Pegg is able to give that speech, like, don't you think this is like something is wrong here? Like,
Yeah.
don't you like? Do you not understand how this is weird? And they start to like grasp me, like, you know what? You might be onto something here.
This guy might be onto something.
Yeah,
It only took 8 people getting murdered, but I think I believe him now.
yeah.
It only took
Yeah.
several people, and like also like by the way, like not for nothing, like if there is enough fatal accidents in a town, okay, so
Oh.
I don't mean to rip this like movie's logic apart, but if there's like a lot of fatal accidents in the town, people do come and start to, there is like an FBI, I don't know what the equivalent is in England, there's like a British FBI that would be like, okay, so what's going on here? Because by the way, sorry, like fatal accidents aren't that common. They do happen, but it'd be
Yeah, every
weird.
once in a while somebody does get absolutely demolished by an 8 foot concrete part of a church roof. Sometimes it does explode their head in the middle of the town's
That was so
festival.
go that was so gory. Can I just
Yeah, it
say that
was.
that was the one that
It was
really
pretty gory.
that was just like that is legitimately the one that got me. That is legitimately the one that got me because you think it's going to get prevented the entire time. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
and
much
then it.
build up.
R.I.P. Tim Messenger. He
Yeah.
couldn't spell, but damn.
Maybe if he had been standing at a different angle, he wouldn't have died.
I first of all, ouch. Secondly, yeah, that was also like a little like okay, so he's just like I forget if they ever make it clear who explicitly did that one, which member of like the neighborhood watch specifically did that, but like it's like he was standing right there at the sort of respectfully probably pre-damaged or cut off in some way. I don't know, that just all seemed very convenient to me, is all I'm gonna say. It made for good
Yeah, yeah.
cinema, but I was
It's
like,
good
all
cinema,
right,
but
you
yeah,
know?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think my
Yeah.
trouble, yeah, my trouble. Oh, so Ryan, you gonna say something?
No, you go. You go.
My trouble is I actually don't know the answer to the question I asked you guys. That's why I needed to ask it because like part of me, as soon as you find out it's like gonna be like, oh, okay, yeah, it's a mystery, it's an investigation, and then my mind goes to go, okay, oh, it's that person, oh, it's that person, it's that person, and I'm really trying to figure out who did it. And so then when I get to the end, the conclusion where it's like, actually, it's everybody. I felt both two things at once, two opposing things at once. I was like, wow, everybody, really? And then it was like, huh, everybody had a hand in this. Every single, so it was almost like less intimidating. It was just like a bunch of people. Maybe that's what. Maybe it's a bunch of people at the. They make such a like comedy of it, where it was like, what? It's a bunch of people at a table. Like
Well, it's the
I think,
neighborhood watch, right? Like we still have like regular people within the town
yeah,
that
yeah,
that's there, but it's the neighborhood watch that we thought was protecting us the whole time. That
yeah. They
well,
were.
they I guess they were in a way. They were stacked, like
They
the
were.
amount of
They were.
guns and weaponry. That
They were stacked. They were protecting people against people. The people who agreed with all their opinions. Those people were protected.
yeah, if you were
Which
loitering or if you were children doing children things,
yeah, I
you
was gonna
were
gloss
done.
over the fact that they murdered children. Like somehow that's the comedic part of this is he's like, oh, discovering dead bodies of children in that shed. Okay. I also, you know what else it made me think about though is when we're talking about like the small town effect. Bill, I think you're absolutely right because here we are kind of in this age of the mystery of Nancy Guthrie's mom. Nancy Guthrie? Yeah, Guthrie's
Is
mom.
Yes, Nancy Guthrie's mom. Yes. I thought her name was Nancy Guthrie for my mistake, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I realized like, oh, because other people were stepping up with that. Obviously, it's like a nationwide thing, and so it's a little different. But I do think like that people of that town have really stepped up, and words would spread. Like I don't know if a normal person, if I was a normal person, just quietly living in that town, I thought 6 people dying. It's a little weird, yeah.
It's a lot to have happen and
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
I don't wanna like up like upstate small town tragedy or like whatever, but like accidental deaths did happen, like people died in traffic accidents or like things, but like it was like a once like every 2 or 3 years thing, and like everybody was like this is horrible and like a tragedy. Like it wasn't like something that like was like happening like sorry, they make it seem like all these accidental deaths are happening over the course of like a few days. I think they are. I think they are. I think they are. And it's like, okay, no, somebody's getting somebody's gonna get wise, you know, like, you know.
Someone's gotta get wise. Someone's
I
gonna do
do want to
digging.
mention, because we talked about like the kids being murdered and stuff like that. So think about, we've talked about another movie that kind of talks about Britain with this. Do you guys remember Talk on Eden Lake?
Yeah, it takes us
Bro,
back to Broken Britain.
Yes, this comes out right at that time about what is the youth doing, what is like wrong with them.
Hold on.
2007 this came out, that like,
Eden Lake's 2008.
yep, you know, not again, not like there's just another layer that you could add to this.
You're okay. You're right. I think that's valid. I think that's a valid thing that you just said. Eden Lake is obviously more horrific,
Mm-hmm.
and haunting, and serious. But there is this element of fuck them kids.
Yeah,
yeah.
a fear of change. You know, we have that within this movie,
Hmm.
and I want to bring up one more thing. And for anyone, I guess me even saying the name of this ends up being a spoiler for this, but for anyone that has never seen Murder on the Orient Express, you should watch that. The original or the remake, I think they're both pretty good.
Hmm.
Uh, you know, the conceit of, is it a cop out if it's everyone, or does it
Mm,
work well? Murder on the Orient Express, is it a cop out, or does it work really well with the story that it's everybody? So I guess I think in the end it's a case by case. Honestly, I think that's if you think that it is or isn't. I personally
that's
don't
fair.
think
Yeah.
that it is in terms
Mm,
of Hot Fuzz. I could see movies where I'm like, oh come on, like really that's gonna be your. But I think this one's just so well written and acted that I'm like, yeah, I'm good with it.
yeah. Yeah.
And then when you find out
It's
the reason, it makes it even funnier, because you think the whole time they're trying to get the land for this person, but these two people heard it first, so they had to go
right.
after them. But then
Right.
all to find out, well, this person couldn't act worth a crap, so we had to kill them.
So you had to kill him. I got that got
He
me. That
couldn't
got me. Like,
spell.
yeah.
We had to kill him.
It
Yeah, I
was
gotta eliminate the bad ones.
it was pretty brutal. I'm just glad that the statue man seemed to have been spared. That was
No,
nice.
he's
Yeah.
dead. He
Wait,
died.
did he? He died?
Yeah,
Did
when
he?
they're chasing Nick Peg through the thing, you could see the dead body of the statue man.
Oh my God. It's
Bro
glanced
was
over.
not spared.
Bro is not bro is not spared. Respectfully, there was this like it was kind of throwaway, and I was like, whoa, like what the hell is going on here? When and sorry, this is such shorthand, but like I love it. When Simon Pegg like discovers like what is going on in the town, and they're like chasing after him. Also, sorry, I feel like Simon Pegg must have like done like some like sprinting training or something for this
Yeah.
movie, because bro is booking
100%.
it. Bro is booking it
Oh
in this
yeah.
movie like all the
If
time.
I remember correctly, he did like training, like to be able to, just do a bunch of the different stunts that was required in
Parkour.
the film without,
Yeah.
there's a stunt double, but
Hmm.
what he could do.
Yeah.
There's that big
Um,
like cop look. I remember I was watching. This is totally, but totally irrelevant. But like watching Adolescence, the short special on Netflix, and there's a chase scene in the first episode. I remember thinking, huh, I feel like every cop in every movie or TV show runs the exact same way. With the hands
Mm-hmm.
high, legs just muscular, long movements like they're trying to burn the most calories as possible.
it's very deliberate. It's very deliberate. I always feel like for some reason my weird reference point is Terminator 2 with it
Mm.
how the Terminator 2 runs in the
Mm-hmm.
movie. Well, okay, I know you're laughing, and I know he looks like he
No,
like runs kind of ridiculously, but it's because he's supposed to run like a machine. Like he's not
Yeah.
supposed to run like he's supposed to be like, what if you're a machine and you were running? You know what I'm saying? Like you're supposed to be. But sorry, to get back to my original point, he does book it a lot in this movie. He is like running from the neighborhood watch initially, and like the ground collapses under him,
Mm-hmm.
you guys know the scene I'm talking about, right? It's like
Yeah.
really only
Yeah.
like a little 30-second thing, and it's like, oh, this has been going on for years.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Like this has been going on for like hundreds of years. Like because there was like, yeah,
Skulls. Yeah. There's
skulls of
skulls.
people. And
Yeah.
like I swear to God, there was even like something like mentioned from like previous centuries or something like that. Like there was like
It's from the 1800s, I think. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
like with the 1800s, and this has been going on for like a really long time. Um, Kind of scary. That's really more horrific when you think about
Yeah.
it
It
over
is.
time.
Yeah. It is. It's pretty
So
screwed up. Yeah.
yeah, it's like this is.
Yeah. Do you guys have a? I want to end this on what's your favorite gag of the movie?
Oh,
I
I
have
love
a
Yarp.
yeah
Yarp,
When
and then the
yeah.
narp.
Yep. And I was just saying, and then for the phone call, the radio, for him to not know what to say and go, "Narp."
That's really good. Can I tell a quick story on why this movie was affectatious? Why there was a particular scene of it that was very affectatious to me. When I was a little kid, right, in undisclosed location, USA, a young boy, I was playing. Sorry, I want to continue the song, but I was
Mm,
playing outside, right, and there was like kind of like yard and everything, and my parents would like watch me from the porch. They would like watch me and my cousins like from the porch and everything, and we were like hanging out there. I must have been like a really young kid, like no more than 5, right? We hear this massively loud noise, right? Super
okay.
loud noise, right? Almost like indescribable, like almost indescribable, right? Um, Parents like, what the heck is going on? Like everybody like inside, like get
Okay.
inside, right?
Oh wow. Wow.
And everything. Um, and then like I was like, we're all like, what's going on? Like, what's going on? I was like, this is like so scary and everything, right? Um, and then like they find out what happened, but don't tell us, right? Years later, I was like weirdly thinking about that memory like one day, and I was like talking to my mom, and I was like, "Hey, what the heck was that all about anyway?" And she was like, "Oh my God, like Jesus, that like the whole left your gas on and your house filled with natural gas, and then somebody lit something, happened to an elderly couple over the hill from us.
Wow.
That literally happened. And by the time I was old enough to I don't know, like even like the house had like the remains of the house had long been demolished
Wow.
before I was even like aware of that situation. So that whole like situation literally can totally happen and does happen. But like I remember it was like so crazy, and then like I was like, what the hell? And like I went on like old like microfiche newspapers to be
Okay.
like
Mm-hmm.
and I found out I'm like, damn,
Find
that
out.
really was true. Yeah, like that was like true, and it was
Damn.
it was just an elderly couple, and they were just forgetful, and
Wow.
they one of them was like lighting a candle or something when
That's crazy.
yeah. So that does happen. That does happen. But I was like, oh God, like especially when you're drunk and everything,
Mm.
like like I'm like, you just be careful, be careful if you have like natural gas. Natural gas superior cooking, but a little dangerous. You just got to be careful, you
Yeah.
know, you know.
Yeah.
So
Whew.
yeah.
Was that
Anyway.
that was relevant to the house explosion? Is that what you were connecting that
Sorry,
back to?
sorry, I was not
This was
connecting that
this
back.
was Bill's favorite gag,
This was my
actually.
my favorite gag was how the simulated horror terror of the movie was my real life thing. No, it's sorry, this is not related to anything at all. I think my favorite gag in the movie, and this is a little crude, a little crass, um but when they like and now that I'm hearing Slughorn, now I'm thinking about Slughorn, it's when they actually go out, Nick Frost and like Simon Pegg go out, and they're actually drinking and actually like becoming friends and like having like a
Mm.
good time like as friends and everything. I forget what led to them like being like, oh, they confiscated all those guns.
Yeah, that's
And they
successful.
were
Yeah,
like,
the
it was
guns.
like what a great day, what a great day. By the way, sorry, bro should not have exposed his big ass gun collection. Bro should not have like, like they're of course they're gonna fucking take that shit. Sorry, like
Dude being like, "Arr, arr, arr, arr," and then just hits the mine instantly. You're like, oh.
like I'm sure you guys know this, like guns are really not too much of a thing in England. They're much less
Yeah.
of a thing than in like America. And so
Yeah.
like I was kind of like there was like this weird like sort of thing with that. But sorry, there's a very particular bit when they're at the pub and like Simon Pegg gets distracted by something and he spills like half the beer and the police inspector comes in. It's like, oh, it looks like someone's had too much to drink, and he's like, oh, look, I promise I'm not that drunk, sir. And then it's like, and then he's like, no, I was talking about him, and he's like literally like, how drunk do you have to be pissing
In
indoors in front of
indoors.
anybody? Like I can surely say I've been like very drunk in my life. I've
Not
never
been that
ever
drunk.
been that
Mm-hmm.
delirious.
Get him another
Uh,
beer.
get him out. Whoa! Whoa! Well, that's what they do later at Nick Frost's apartment. Very pro beer movie. Very pro beer
Yeah,
movie.
yeah,
Pro
yeah.
pint movie.
Pro pint.
Pro pint. So sorry. Who still has to go on doing a
I think.
favorite bit?
Yeah. My
Cool.
favorite bit's the goose. Oh no,
It's a
Oh,
really good
the
bit.
the
swan.
swan.
He's
I
got
Swan.
it. He
love the
keeps
payoff
popping
for it.
up. Oh my god! Because the first time where he's like, he's got the chase, and then the swan, the swan's there, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna keep going. And then the house explodes, and the swan is just walking in front of the house. And then at the end, where the swan he and I love that the swan is like the symbol of characterization for Simon Pegg's careness about the town, because then he passes the swan again, he brakes, he picks up the swan, puts the swan in the cop car. Okay, that's it. He's done his job. He did his like little civic duty as a cop, and saved it. And then the swan aids in arresting, decapacitating, decapacitating. Sure. Anyway,
Incapacitated.
incapacitating. Thank you.
Whatever. Yeah. Yeah. No,
Incapacitating.
you're good. You're good. You're good. You're
I was
good.
gonna go
Yeah.
with decapitating. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Dude, what
Uh,
was the bit about decapitating? What? Sorry. Wasn't there some bit about that word? I can't remember exactly. Sorry.
oh,
I
I
just
think it's
remember
like. Did you say like a defunct capitation?
Kappa.
Yeah, it's something.
Okay, it's okay. Now we're just quoting the movie. We're just trying to remember quotes from the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do want to mention, because again we talked a lot about like all these different actors and stuff that are in this movie and like famous roles, and like there's one that kind of this movie really has a big stemming from. Uh, have you guys seen The Wicker Man? The
70s
original Wicker Man.
one, the
Yes.
OG.
Is
OG.
there a lot of connection?
What's the
Well,
connection, dude?
a police officer going to a small town to investigate like someone
Mm.
missing. A little bit different in terms of that, but like the town's weird, then you find out stuff. But the person who plays the cop character, like the
Uh-huh.
main character in The Wicker Man,
Okay.
is in Hot Fuzz.
Who is he?
And it's the guy that looks over the town with the surveillance cameras. Horror
Really?
Legacy. Edward
Whoa.
Woodward.
Whoa.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay. Man,
And
what
he
a
has
career.
such a great death in this movie, being the landmine, the sea mine,
Oh my gosh, yeah.
because he's the one that gets caught in it, and the whole entire joke the entire time is they hit it, it makes sounds, but nothing happens. But then finally he hits it, it rolls on top of him, and then you just hear chunk chunk, tick, 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 and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
it just
Yeah.
blows
And
up
they're just
the entire building.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I also have to say, like, that was also like, I don't know what like you want to call it, like suspension of disbelief or like magic realism or something. It's like, no, I'm sorry, the building does not blow up around you and everybody's okay. Sorry. Also, sorry, by the way, Nick Frost's character gets shot and then is in a building that literally falls
Falls
apart
on him.
from like a fucking explosion. Sorry, no, he's dead. He's
Yeah.
dead. And I knew that they were baiting it at the end and that he didn't really die and everything. But like
Hmm.
I was like, come on, y'all. Like, and like I'm sure like people are like, oh, but he was wearing like a fucking bulletproof vest. Like, oh, like, you can survive the thing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If a sea mine goes off inside a brick building, I'm sorry. Those are so powerful. Like, sorry, to be clear, those are designed to rip
A
like
boat.
holes in metal
Boats.
steel
Metal
ships.
boats. Yeah.
Yes. So like
Ships.
I'm sorry, you're
Yeah.
cooked. You're cooked. So like I had to fucking turn off. I had to turn off my shit for a little bit
That was
there.
the
Like I
moment
was
that
like
Bill was like, "Oh, I don't know
Uh,
about the realism
I
in
that's
this
it.
movie,
Three
guys."
stars.
No, dude, this is I'm gonna be so for real. If they had done like a moment where like they had closed the evidence locker door to maybe like divert the blast a little bit, and a lot of
Yeah.
the blast that would be in the thing, but like I could believe that. I could go with that, right? They specifically didn't though. And
Yeah.
I was like, okay, well, that leads to the entire building being destroyed, which also leads to like like I'm not gonna lie, it's a great scene though. To be clear, it's a really great scene. But then it's like because like they're kind of having the fucking like 2000s like dance party ending. Like they're like like oh like everybody loves Simon Pegg now. Like like he's actually a real part of the community. I think like they even like like say something to the effect. I don't know if it comes like before or after. They're like, "We need you back in London." He's like, "I actually kind of like it here," like and
Yeah.
everything. And then it's like, oh, final bad guy like shows up and like
Yeah.
is
Well,
like,
that's such a 2000 things, right? Even like teen movies were like, actually, I think I'm gonna like it here after all.
yeah, and
Or
then
Hallmark,
fucking
where it's like the city girl meets the farmer boy,
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
need to save
yeah,
like the annual Christmas tree pageant that happens every year, and then by the end, you know, it's like, you know what? I want to be here with my beefy lumberjack boyfriend who protects Christmas. Like,
oddly specific, Ryan, but that's
Yeah.
okay. We'll let you have that one. That does sound like a thing to a
Always
Christmas
a
movie.
lumberjack.
Well, I will say this, not to get us too far off the trail, but I watched a Hallmark movie where it was
God.
like we'll do like it was over this past thing. So sorry, I did watch for the love of the game. I did watch the Bills Hallmark movie. It was really tough and bad, and we don't need to talk about it anymore. I cannot believe some of the actors and actresses they got in that are kind of famous that were not doing bit parts, were not doing cameo things. They just wanted to do it because they're Bills fans and there's never been like a Bills movie, like like whatever. But there was like a freaking Hallmark movie that we watched where it was a guy and a girl are on opposite sides of like a Christmas competition, and they learn to love each other through that. And I was like, that's really weird, and that doesn't happen in real life. And like my one like friend that was watching it with me was like, oh yeah, like just so you know, like this is the plot of every Hallmark movie, by the way. Like it's like people, because like sorry, the Bills one was like a lifelong Bills fan and one didn't really give a shit, you know?
Because
And like it
they're
right.
complete opposites. How could they ever like each other?
But of course, dude, they get together. They get together.
Yeah,
Now,
and then they watch the Bills inevitably lose in the playoffs.
careful, careful. Watch your tongue. Watch your tongue, buddy. It was a rough one this year. It was a rough one this year.
Says the Cowboys fan.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I will say there was.
I was just say Cowboys did beat the Bills twice in the Super Bowl.
Get out of here. Get the
Oh,
fuck out of here.
true.
Uh, ultimate villain. I will say there was some good Bills copium this year, because the frickin' oh god, who the fuck advanced past them? Bo Nix, Bo
Oh, the
Picks, by the way,
Broncos.
the
Yeah.
Broncos advanced past, and Again, of course, all for nothing. By the way, all
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
nothing.
because
By
he
the
was
way,
hurt on like the last play of the game.
yeah, all for
Yeah.
A play that
nothing.
he didn't need to do anything.
Yeah,
No.
no, he
He
didn't do
breaks
anything.
his, what was his ankle or something? An
Yeah,
ACL?
he like
He did
snapped his
something.
ankle. Yeah, like
Snapped his ankle.
he literally like broke it. Like it was literally like no,
Yeah.
like you're gonna like
Crazy.
struggle to play next season.
Mm-hmm.
Like yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be. Yeah, sorry. Okay, getting all the way back. How do we how do we want to sign us off here?
Letterbox
Well,
reviews, perhaps?
yeah, I
Okay,
was gonna say let's
cool.
do our one sentence reviews. While you guys think of that, I would be remiss not to add a few little things of context about this movie and like some stuff that we didn't talk about. The two detectives that work at the police station, we didn't mention them at all during this time. I think they're very funny characters.
I
I
think they're
like
very funny as well.
I
Yeah.
like the one bit of the one drinking the beer and getting like the like the little mustache, and Nick Frost going like, you have a mustache, and he goes, I know, because you're I, little funny bit. I do like those characters, and I do like Olivia Colman as the one female police officer that's there. I think she's very funny, and bringing back our what's it called talk, our Studio Ghibli talk, Olivia Colman. She's the mom in Secret World of Arietti.
That's really crazy. I it actually is funny. Not to distract us or kind of like bring us back to Ghibli stuff, but they're always like re-releasing Ghibli films in theaters and stuff. And I'm going with some friends next Sunday to see Kiki's Delivery Service,
Ooh,
Ooh,
which is gonna be fun to
nice.
see on the big screen. That's gonna be fun to
yeah.
be on see on the big screen.
Mm-hmm.
So that's gonna be good. That's gonna be a good one. I wish it was one of the ones that I haven't seen before, so I could be like,
Yeah.
I could add it to my compendium, and I'm like, shit, like like whatever, like I'll go and see it again. Why not?
Yeah, you should make both of you guys. I'm not sure if you have or not, but like make a list on Letterboxd of like ranking the Ghibli films. I think it would be very cool to see your
Mm.
guys' list, how you have it.
I think I need to watch all the fucking. Do I need to watch? Do I need to watch like? Oh, damn, bitch! Like, do I need to watch like Earthsea and Secret World of Arietti and
If
when
you've already
Marnie
seen
was
them, I think there's
there?
a few that you need to rewatch. But I mean,
God
when
fucking
Marnie
damn
was
it!
there, I would say maybe rewatch that one of the ones you just listed. But
Sorry that not to distract us too much again, but there was some really good. I gotta send you guys something that I saw on the Earthsea Wikipedia page the other day. That was basically code, like it was like code talking that it's like you can't call in like this is true of Hollywood as well, but like it's true of Japanese cinema as well. It's like whatever you think of a film, it was like the best film ever, especially if you're like being invited to the premiere, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like people that work in Hollywood will tell you, even if it's complete dog shit, uh, publicly, it was awesome. I loved it. It was
Mm-hmm.
the greatest movie ever. Just because like you can't like burn bridges, you can't afford to burn
Yeah.
bridges.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
there was some really funny like like Earthsea is terrible, but like we have to pretend like it's not terrible stuff. I'll send
Yeah.
you guys later. But yeah, cool.
Mm.
Cool.
And just to add, while you guys finish up your little sentences, give you a tiny bit more time. Empire Award, what we talked about, where it ranked this film the 67th best of the 21st century. Um, in its yearly Best British Film awards that would do, Hot Fuzz is the only one not to have won. Shaun of the Dead won in 2005.
Hmm.
And The World's End won in 2014. Hot Fuzz is the only one that didn't win Best British
Hmm.
Film. What won over it was Atonement with James
Oh.
McAvoy, Keira Knightley,
Oh. Well, that's
Reese
a.
Ronan,
I mean,
Sasha. Yeah.
Saoirse?
Saoirse.
Cerise.
Saris.
Hey, you know what? Don't look at me. I don't know. I would guess Saoirse. I would guess Saoirse because I think it's never what I think it is.
Right? So that won
Yeah.
that year. Now we go to Empire's 100 Greatest Movies. Atonement is not on there. Hot Fuzz is on there. Shaun of the Dead is at 61,
Above this.
above this. And that's something I guess we never really talked about that we'll do after our review of which one do you have higher. And you could actually say it in your review after. what you think. Do you have Hot Fuzz as the better movie, or do you have Shaun of the Dead as the better movie? So let's start with you, Nick.
Right, with my review.
Yes.
Easily one of the funniest buddy cop movies. Let's see if you guys see what I do here. Ready? Have a great summer. Minus the S. Hag.
Mm.
Ooh, okay, okay. Sorry, I was like straight up, like I was like slowly processing.
Bro was like,
I think,
Ummer, Ummer.
I was like, dude, I'm not even kidding you. I was like, Ummer. I was like, what does Nick mean by this? So is this like a
Right.
thing? Like, I'm not even kidding you. It's 100% my what my mental state was like a thing. Wow, yeah. Do you want to go, Ryan? So maybe I can finish my bit
Yeah.
thing. I
Wait,
need
Nick,
one more word.
Mm.
Oh,
which one do you think is better? Shaun of the
Actually,
Dead
I
or Hot
actually what I
Fuzz?
was looking at, I didn't log Shaun of the Dead in Letterboxd, and I should have. I think I liked the comedy of this better. I
hmm
think it's better shot. I think it's better directed. Um, I think the cast is better. I mean, you've got a lot of just great actors and actresses in this movie. So I think this is a more well-rounded movie.
Nice. All right. Mine is gonna be England. Please come out with more gay romantic action comedies between Simon Pegg and Nick Frost.
More bromance.
yes, dude, who would have thought the romance that was found at the end of the movie would be between the two of them? You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the romantic comedy.
Yeah, and I agree. I do have Hot Fuzz over Shaun of the Dead. I love the
Mm.
comedy of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is kind of fuck. This is a bit of a stretch, guys. This is a bit of a stretch. One day I'm gonna learn to do these before time, but I think I got it. I think I got it. Okay, this is what I'm gonna go with. You ready for my letterbox review?
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
The definitive buddy cop comedy experience. You won't bail out on Hot Fuzz. Bail out.
I like
Bail
it.
out.
Mm.
Police. Okay.
Okay.
Fuck.
Okay.
Fuck.
Okay.
Okay. Let's generate a little motion.
Yeah.
Let's generate a little
Yeah.
motion. Okay.
Bell.
Yeah.
Bell.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Woo. Okay. That was like me rubbing my last two brain cells together to do it. Um, can I say something? I do also. Sorry, Ryan. I think I was so concerned with making sure my letterbox review went up. Did you say that you preferred this movie to
Yes.
Shaun of the Dead? We all agree. We all agree then. I'm gonna I'm gonna have to translate this to letterbox terms, but like I'd give Shaun of the Dead like a 4.5, and I'd give this like a 4.5. You know? Like 4 out of 5 versus 4.5 out of 5. Now I've heard the general consensus, and I don't wanna unjustly put this out there, but that most people like Hot Fuzz the best.
Mm.
At World's End. Sorry, it's at World's End, right? Okay. Sorry, I definitely asked this last time. That's also the name of like a Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
Yeah, Pirates of
The
the
World's
Caribbean at
End
World's
is
End.
the
The World's
yeah
End. Yeah, that's so annoying. That's
Oh,
okay.
it's the
Um,
World's End.
yeah
The
the not
World's
at
End.
the
The. Oh, okay.
Okay, The World's End. Most people, I guess, depending on what you like. Now, here's the thing. You guys know this about me. I love sci-fi in all its forms, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, kind of like, okay, let's like apply this pretty winning Edgar Wright directing Simon Pegg and Nick Frost starring, like in a sci-fi setting. Like I'm like cool, like I'm in for it. But I think the general consensus is that while it's good, it's not as good as the other two. So, that's the general consensus of what I've heard. I'm hoping to be proven wrong. So, yeah.
I yeah, general consensus is what exactly that. This one I have not seen The World's End in a very long time. This is the one that I
Me
know
neither,
the
dude.
least. So I'm very excited to watch this. I do remember Martin Freeman being a bigger part in this one.
Okay.
Uh, I mean, at this point, Martin Freeman's like he's very well known at this point. Not that he wasn't really well known in the earlier ones, but like he is now very well known.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's because I mean, I think The Hobbit really propelled him. I mean, when you star in a movie, I think The Hobbit and is it Valentine's Day or is it Love Actually that he's in?
Well,
Love
I was gonna
Actually.
say,
Yeah,
I was also gonna say he had a crazy long tenure as Watson.
Yes, I
Benedict
was gonna
Cumberbatch in
yes,
mention that too.
Sherlock.
As
Yeah,
Watson.
Sherlock.
Yeah,
yeah,
Clive Sherlock.
yeah, in
Yeah, yeah,
Sherlock.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
also
So
The
he
Office, like early Office of like, British The
the
Office.
British
He's in that.
Office, yeah, because I think
cool.
he plays the Jim of The Office, British
Yeah,
version.
yeah, dude.
Mm.
I believe it's Tim. I believe in the
Yeah,
in
it
the British
is.
version. I'm not even joking. Oh, really? Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
Tim
Yeah,
Canterbury.
that's good. Canterbury? Could you be any more English? Timothy Canterbury? Get the fuck out of here. That's ridiculous. You know, this is okay. You know, I'm gonna say Martin Freeman led or not led, but maybe he is the strange knows more about what's going on person to Simon Pegg and Nick Frost's
Mm,
like everyman thing. I'm here for that. I'm quite excited for that.
mm.
I don't quite remember what form the sci-fi takes in this movie. I saw that movie when like it almost like came out and I barely freaking remember it. I thought
Really?
it was a time travel movie. Apparently that's not true though. It's not that
Okay,
kind of sci-fi.
guess we're in for a surprise then.
So I guess we're gonna see. Okay.
All
Yeah.
right.
So with all that being said, thank you everyone for listening to this episode. Thank you, of course, Bill and Nick for being here again. I missed you guys. I'm happy that
You
You
too,
too.
buddy.
we're back. For your everyone's homework, make sure you watch The World's End because that's going to be the next film that we're discussing. Oh, tell us what you think. Do you like Hot Fuzz more than Shaun of the Dead, or do you like Shaun of the Dead more? Or are you going to say that you like The World's End the most out of all of them? We'd love to hear it. Any feedback, we would love to hear. And with all of that, with that being said, always remember, YARP.
Yarp.
Sorry to be a little negative there, but
Bye, everyone.
bye, guys.
See ya.